My name is Saniye Gülser Corat. I am the founder of No Bias AI question mark, which is a think tank addressing bias in AI, along with providing a platform to discuss the way forward in AI. Previously, I was the director for gender equality at UNESCO for 16 years, where I led groundbreaking research in the field of AI with two reports, one called I'd Blush If I Could, and the second one, Artificial Intelligence and Gender Equality. AI is a technology, and what we have to remember is that technology is something that is produced by human beings. It's not something that comes to us from the sky. So like any other technology, it reflects and contains the value systems, the prejudices, and the biases of those people who develop it. Currently, in the AI field, we know that almost 90% of the technical teams that work on the development of AI, but also of AI applications and services, are young men aged 18 to 30, mostly from the economic north countries, mostly educated in similar environments. So what we get as a result, as a product, as services, is a system that contains and reflects, but also sometimes exacerbates the values and the biases that they put into the systems which make up AI. In AI, there are several sources for bias. One is data sets. As we know, data sets come from data that is put into different systems, including internet, which provides the main source of big data, by people. Again, who puts in that data? That's also a question which is raised in different circles. But we know for a fact that most of the data that we can scrape from the internet is data about middle-aged men, again, from the economic north countries, because those are the people who are active in the system, who have access to the systems, and who put in data that we use. We can also curate data, but curated data has its own problems and has its own prejudices and value systems. I won't go into the detail of curated data because it can be very specific, but let me give you just one example from the data scraped from the internet. One of the sources on the internet is Wikipedia, as you know, and today, as we speak, only 17% of pages are about women. So when you start from a point of 17% representation of data about women, I don't think you can really go far in terms of addressing bias in a meaningful way in AI products and services. One of my first reports that I produced while at UNESCO, I'd Blush If I Could, was about gender bias in voice assistants. And we looked at Siri, Alexa, Cortana, and Google Assistant. The finding was that because of the gender bias coded into the voice assistants, we were faced with a situation where especially children and especially young boys who were growing up in contexts where these voice assistants were used were starting to believe that they have to talk to their mothers, sisters, female caregivers, women in general in their lives in a very loud voice with a very commanding and almost nasty tone, and they thought that this is how one talks to women in general, because you have to talk with a very loud voice and with a very clear accent and with a very specific command or order to communicate with Alexa or Siri. So this was the effect on young boys, and the effect on young girls was that they were starting to believe that they have to be very accommodating, very polite, very soft when they reacted to different comments about their looks, about their behavior, about their attitude. So we were really alarmed at UNESCO with the results of our research, which showed that we were about to raise a generation of young boys and young girls who thought that speaking to women was in a rude way with a loud voice was a normal behavior, and for girls to think that they have to be pliant and accommodating even when faced with abuse. I think that because of the societies that we live in, and unfortunately we don't have any country in the world today which has reached full gender equality, it's possible to remove especially gender bias completely in the current AI paradigm, which is data-driven machine learning. As we mentioned before, bias comes from data sets. It also comes from the algorithms that young men write, and it comes from the coded information, coded knowledge that goes into artificial intelligence. So I'm thinking more about the future of AI and what we can aim for, what we can hope for in the next paradigm that would move us away from data-driven machine learning to what I would call knowledge-based machine reasoning. And that's the focus of my work at No Bias AI _, the think tank I founded.